Let's talk about making donations simpler. If you donate to multiple charities, you know that there's actually quite a bit of work involved. You could start a foundation, but with a foundation, there's annual costs, there's high administration fees, and every year you have to file a T3010 with CRA. This is where a donor advised fund comes in. They're easy to set up, they're flexible, and you could still determine which charities receive your donations and when. For this reason, they've grown quite a bit in Canada with over 20,500 donor advised funds as of 2021. So let's say we get together, you and I, and we create a donor advised fund called the Fund for World Betterment. Original title, I know. Let's hop on the computer and I'll show you how this might work. So here we have our fund that we want to set up, the Fund for World Betterment. And let's say we have $25,000 that we want to contribute. And by the way, that $25,000 may be close to the minimum amount to set up this type of fund. That'll depend on your financial institution. So now we contribute from our own account, $25,000 to the fund. Notice that our donor advised fund is within an existing charity. It's actually an account set up by the charity. And when we donate our funds, that is a donation to charity and we can't get the money back. However, we can claim a tax credit even though the funds have not reached their final destination. In Canada, you can carry forward your tax credit up to 5 years. For example, if I'm potentially going to sell a business next year, I don't have to claim my tax credit this year. I can delay it until such time that it makes more sense. The next step is determining how and when the money is allocated. When our donor advised fund gives money to charity, that's called a grant. And you can grant charities at your discretion, and it doesn't have to be all at once. And here's the best part. You can automate the process. So for example, let's say for charity 1, we want to give money every year in December. But for charity 2 and charity 3, we want to give money every month. We could set it up that way and automate the process moving forward. And those donations will continue yearly and monthly in perpetuity. And once that's set up, you no longer have to think about it. The donor advised fund will continue to send those donations according to the schedule that we determined. And that's true even if we passed away. So our donor advised fund will continue funding these charities as long as there's money in the account to do so. So what a legacy that is, even after you're gone, smiling warmly down on the rest of humanity, you can still be doing good in the world through your donor advised fund. Note that for each monthly grant or yearly grant, there probably is a minimum, depending again on your financial institution. That may be something like $250 per grant. If you wish, after you pass, you can have your family direct the funds to the different charities after you're gone. Another great point is this. In Canada, if you donate shares of a publicly traded security to charity and there's a capital gain on those shares, you're exempt from that capital gain, but you still receive the full value of the donated shares. So it's a double win. For example, let's say you invested in one of the top performing stocks in the last 2 decades in Canada, Constellation Software, which IPO'd in 2006. If you invested $1,000 in your non-registered account at the IPO, it would be worth about $245,000 here in 2024. Great job, but that's a big capital gain. In this hypothetical example, if you donated the shares to charity, you wouldn't pay capital gains on those shares and you would still count the entire $245,000 as a donation. So the lesson here is if you have a non-registered account with capital gains and you make donations using after-tax dollars, it makes sense to instead donate shares with the capital gains to charity. You'll be better off tax-wise. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Philanthropy is an extension of you, who you are, and what you bring to the world. I hope this video gave you some ideas on how to make donations easier and a little bit more tax efficient. Thanks again for watching and happy investing.